Hi, my name is Dr. Jessica Underwood. I am a chiropractor because I am totally interested and in awe of the human body, how amazing it is and what it can do. During this series, I'm going to talk to you a lot about stress. I think this is important because I think that our inability to cope with stress is what causes problems in our amazing body, and this is when things start to go downhill. You might have noticed that I didn't say that stress is what causes the problems, but rather that our inability to cope with stress is the problem. I know that most people in our modern world today experience moderate or usually very high levels of stress. You probably all know these, but I could just list them off for you. Things like work deadlines, difficulties in relationship, preservatives and chemicals in the food we eat, chemicals in the body products that we use like shampoo and toothpaste and washing powder, financial stress, all of the day-to-day things that people experience. So we have high levels of stress, and it's estimated that more than 90% of doctors' visits are due to stress. So if doctors and medical literature recognises the link between stress and poor health, are we as individuals recognising this link, and are we taking the effects of stress seriously enough? Last week we spoke about the superhuman feats of strength. These are the stories that you hear about now and then. They usually pop up in the newspaper or somewhere like that. Something incredible like a woman sees her teenage son involved in an accident, and he gets stuck underneath the car, and the woman races out to the car and in the moment lifts the car off her son so that he can escape from underneath the car. These capabilities, these superhuman feats of strength, are absolutely impossible in our day-to-day lives. So we talked about, well, what is actually happening? How are these things possible? When we understand the physiology of stress, that stress creates the release of hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol in the body, and it makes a very, very different physiology or behaviour of the body. It means that when these hormones are released, our body gets ready to run or fight. It releases massive amounts of energy so that you can look after yourself and survive. What happens for most of us if we are sitting at our desk in front of our computer for most of the day during work, and we're having these stressful thoughts of work deadlines, getting the job done well enough, as well as the day-to-day life stresses that most people experience. And we're creating this stress response, this release of hormones and this different behaviour of the body, but we don't actually use the energy that is produced. What happens to this energy? Where does it go, and how does it affect our body? If you don't use this energy, if you don't have a way to access this energy or for your body to release this energy, then your body tends to get stuck in a stress posture. So shoulders rolled forward, head stuck out. You've all seen what somebody who's hunched over and has bad posture looks like. And this bad posture actually takes a lot of energy to just keep your head on your shoulders and keep your body functioning in a normal way. So the effects of stress mean that we produce lots of energy, and then we store it, and then we need to use more and more just to keep our body functioning at a lower level. Roger Sperry, who was a winner of the Nobel Prize in areas of neurophysiology, said that more than 90% of the energy output of the brain is used for the body's relationship to itself in space. That means your brain knowing where your body is in space, how your posture is, where your shoulders are, how you hold your back and your spine, all of those sorts of things. And he says that the more physically or mechanically distorted a person is, the worse their posture is, then the less energy they have available for thinking and metabolism and healing. The overall picture is, if you're experiencing stress on a day-to-day basis, you're storing it in your body, creating mechanical distortion or bad posture, then you have less energy available for what your amazing body generally does all by itself, like thinking, healing, and metabolism. So how do we use this information in a practical way and in a way that can create more health and wellness for us in our life? Rather than trying to probably unsuccessfully remove every stress in your life, it is actually possible to train your brain and your body to become more flexible and better at coping with stress. This would mean that rather than just storing the stress as tight muscles and poor thinking and bad digestion and more sickness, you could actually start using the stress energy that was available to you. The best way to do this is to get out and move your body and stretch every day. How will you know if this stretching and moving has worked? Well, some people immediately feel better after just 5 or 10 minutes of laying on the floor, paying attention to their body and moving in whatever way they feel like. Some people, as with anything that you teach yourself, can take a couple of weeks of doing the same thing every day to start to feel differences. Overall, the benefits are that if you feel your body more, you let it stretch and move in a way that it normally doesn't get to do during the day, it becomes less mechanically distorted, storing less tension, and that means there's more energy available for thinking, healing, and metabolism. So how will you know if it's worked? Within a couple of weeks' time, you should start to feel like you have greater clarity of thinking, or you feel more relaxed after you've done your 5 or 10 minutes checking in. You might start to notice that your digestion or your metabolism changes and gets better in some way. And you probably start to notice that you'll begin to get less sick over time. So less colds and flus, less downtime, that sort of thing. So is there a stronger link between stress and poor health than we give credit for? If there is such a link, should we wait until we get sick to start doing something to teach our body to cope with stress better? I'm here to tell you I don't think it's a good idea to wait. I believe that you start looking after yourself today in a way that is inspiring to you, rather than thinking about I should exercise because it's good for me and I should go and do my yoga because I need to be flexible. Thinking about, wow, my body's really amazing, and if I train it to be more sensitive to itself, then it will be able to cope with more things in life and do more and have more fun. That's enough to get me moving and stretching every day. Here's the challenge. Start tomorrow by taking 5 minutes. It might be when you wake up in the morning, it might be before you go to bed at night, it might be when you get home from work in the afternoon, it might be at lunchtime in the piazza. Wherever you choose to take 5 or 10 minutes to check in with yourself and start training your body today to become more healthy and well and alive and vibrant, this is a great place to start. If you have all of this stored stress or stored energy in your body, the best way to make use of it is to be able to feel your body more. Getting out and moving and stretching is a way for you to feel your body more. To be most successful in learning to feel your body more and training it to feel and reduce the effects of stress is to take some time out, maybe 5-10 minutes at the most, and lay down on the floor somewhere and start by observing your body. So you're laying down flat on your back on the floor and you check in with how your feet and your legs feel. Do they feel the same? Do they feel different? Do both of your hips touch the floor in the same way? Do you feel tension in some areas and not in others? Can you feel every area of your spine as you move up your back? You can press your back into the floor. You can notice which parts are really flexible and which parts are tender. You can observe if your shoulders both touch the floor equally, or even when you're laying on your back, are they pulled forward and stretched up off the floor? After taking some time to check in with your body, where it's aligned, where it's crooked, where it's relaxed, where it's tight, then you just take a moment to stretch and move. You don't need to know anything special. It's actually the result of stretching in a way that just feels good. Think about when you wake up in the morning and you have a big stretch in bed. That's the kind of stretching I'm talking about. So feeling whatever your body wants to do. You don't need rules, you just need to feel your body and let it move in a way that wouldn't be usual in your normal day-to-day activities. That's why it's called stretching.